Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the channel, liking, subscribing, leaving your comments, whether positive or negative. Much love and much prayers to everybody out there. This here is Live Conversations. Live Conversations number 180. Underline that for some of those over righteous church people out there. My disclaimer is I'm not a pastor preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. This is a live for conversations. This is why I named these episodes live conversations. Tony Harvin. Tony Harvin is not in the pulpit preaching. You understand? I greet everybody. Excuse me. Upon this night, upon this evening, this Sunday, it was a good service earlier. But those that have seen it, with the TOG and whatnot, some good eating. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody out there. Falcon, Ernest Beard, Prince, Mario, Dale Morris, who else? And all those other people out there who's coming in now in the middle and during the end. And the lowriders out there. The lowriders who talk against this channel. The lowriders who talk against these videos on here, but yet they subscribe, yet they come to all the videos to watch it. I don't ask nobody to come here. You know what I mean? And that caliber of people who are hating in that manner. You understand? The topic is, and the reason I brought this topic up because I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday upon this topic. It was on this podcast, this little podcast out of Texas or something like that. So I'm thinking about inviting this person, one day on here, because I don't mind giving people opportunities and whatnot to come on and have their podcast and talk about some things, and if they positive, if they ain't doing nothing contradicting the word, then it's all right. You understand? It's absolutely all right. What up, Latanya? Jesus is God. What up, Flemings? One of the channel moderators, Georgina Flemings, who's doing a great work on this YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Mr. West, what's up? Alicia Williams. He says, blessed Sunday evening. What up, what up, what up? Larry Burks, he says, everybody is guilty of it. He says, everybody is guilty of it. Everybody. Well, I can't speak for everybody, man. I can't speak for everybody. There's over 7 billion people in this world. I don't know if there's one person out there that, remain faithful in any type of situation that they have been in. What up to Pamela, Jean Lewis? What up, what up? I know we talked about somewhat the surfaces of this topic, but the last topic was signs of a cheater. Signs. That was the topic, signs. And the other topic was, should a spouse stay because of? But now this is a more broader sense of, cheating and committing adultery. And I'm pretty sure those out there who been victims, been suspects, and this topic might touch somebody. They may feel some type of guilt, but guess what? Hey, I'm not on here to please people, man. You know what I mean? This is a YouTube channel. We're gonna talk about any and everything, even if I got to talk about myself. But I'm not gonna bring names and stuff like that in it. What up to JP? We said JP Easy. You said just got married. The temptation of other women got worse for some reason. Is that normal? Well, I just was talking about this yesterday. Just yesterday. I said this. I said the same thing yesterday. I wasn't on my YouTube channel. It was like a low key podcast. I didn't tell nobody about. I just had to I really wanted to see how the person was, because I'm not gonna put something on here and the person is out of whack. But the person happened to be a really good interview and stuff like that in reference to the topic of cheating. Real good person. So maybe one day I will allow her on here, to have conversations in general. So if anybody out there is good with conversations in general, whether it's a male or female and what have you. I don't mind allowing them on the platform, but you got to understand a lot of people out there with they thin brains, being that I'm a male, and let's just say I bring a female on here who's a podcaster, you know what I mean? Who got her own YouTube channel, who got her own Spotify channel. If I bring her on here, what do people gonna think? Oh, he must be talking to her. he must be doing something with her. You know how social media is. You understand that? People minds are twisted at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, that's another topic for another day. But you said you just got married. The temptations of other women got worse for some reason. Well, from experience, coming up and I guess courting a woman and things like that, trying to get to know her and all that other, flowers and roses type of things and whatnot. Yes, yes, man. It seems that way. It seems that way. Listen, when you're single and you got nobody, you ain't talking to nobody, and stuff like that. It seems like nobody want to talk to you. It seems like nobody's interested in you. But the moment you start courting somebody and you know what I mean, you start getting to the levels of marriage and whatnot, then you get married, the heat is on. The heat is definitely on. I don't know what is it with certain people who are interested in those, especially when you first get married. You know what I mean? Some people just have an interest in that, you know, versus people who are not interested in but still fall into the category of adultery. You understand that? So a lot of people out there, you know what I mean? They just go out, okay, I'm going to find me a married person and I'm going to try to break up the home. I'm going to try to talk to him or her, because they wish that they pray that that was them or that should be them, you know? So yes, it feels that way. It definitely feels that way for sure. What up, Latanya? What up, Cynthia Hall? Uh, Larry Burke says, I'm referring to the broader sense when it talks about looking lustfully, but it's the same. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's just not a physical thing. You know what I'm saying? We also talked about that yesterday. Cheating or whatever the case may be. It's not a physical thing, because one could be talking to somebody and they have feelings and whatnot. A person could be they could be happily married, and well, I don't know. People portray the happiness over social media. You understand? I wanted to talk about the first topic I want to talk about was social media in relationships and marriages and whatnot. But I decided to talk about this. But they both go coincide with each other. We're definitely going to touch on that too. Jesus God, what up, what up, what up? Craig Harris says, after I got married 8 years, the most I did was look. I have no energy to physically cheat. Amen. You know, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. He said the most you did was look. Okay. All right. Falconer says, if you look at another, you cheated. Well, half and half, man. If hypothetically speaking, let's just say if I was married, whatever the case may be, and I see a woman who's beautiful, oh, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, nice looking woman. I'm not lusting in my heart. I'm not lusting. Lusting would be, you know what, man, I sure wish I could take her home. You know what I'm saying? That's lusting. But if somebody says, okay, this person is nice looking, decent looking, whatever, because we all human at the end of the day. You know what I mean? The crossing of the boundaries is when you start thinking of sexual thoughts and stuff like that and all that wicked stuff. You know what I'm saying? A positive compliment is fine. Okay, you got some nice shoes, you look nice, whatever, you dressed up properly, nice looking person. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Don't let don't let things entertain your mind to go into that sexual barrier or anything lustful stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But of course, like you could be in Walmart, you know what I mean? You could be shopping for some scotch tape and you could just happen to look up and there's a beautiful woman right there. You know what I mean? Now, the problem is a lot of guys, they don't know how to take their minds off of it. They don't know how to listen. Look, beautiful, look away, go about your business. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Don't entertain it. He says, if you thought that another woman looks hot for even a second, you cheated. I wouldn't say that. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Because if you look at a woman, okay, she's beautiful, keep it moving. Now you be like, oh, she's hot. I wish I could take her home and stuff like that. I agree with you on that one. You understand? But a simple positive compliment, excuse me. Okay, she's beautiful. Keep it moving. You got something better at home. You know what I'm saying? All right. What up, Yvette? Good evening, Mr. Harvin. Have a wonderful, blessed, prosperous day. Evening, excuse me, and week ahead by God's permission. Loving your topics. Appreciate that. What up, K. Amen. Georgina Flemings. I don't see no buffering on my end. Delmore says low thinkers. So he said I guess I cheated. Falconer says when you truly love anything, you can't love another, let alone love. I really. Cartels Young says the devil knows how serious marriage is. So if he can destroy that, knowing marriage is one time, it'll drive a lot of people to commit adultery. After that, divorce. So temptation will get worse. Tasha says, greetings, everyone. What up, Nicholas? Hope to see you at the end of the year service. In Greensboro coming up. There are some people who just don't want to see good things happening to other people, especially when it's marriage, Del Morris says. Okay. All right. Falconer, you must have went through some stuff. You must have went through some stuff. You sure is pitching them. Listen, you sure is pitching at the mound. You throwing curveballs, you throwing screwballs. You know what I mean? You throwing fastballs. You coming with them comments. All right. Appreciate that. What is that, Craig Harris? Falconer says it's difficult, guys. I'm not free from this, but I try. Okay, you're not free from it. All right. Pamela Green says it doesn't matter where you get hungry, as long as you eat at home. Doesn't matter who you look at. Craig Harris says facts. I don't talk to them. I just look. Tasha says look with lust is cheating. Now that I agree with. I agree with that. Look with lust. That's it right there. I think that scripture is in what, Matthew or something like that, Matthew chapter 5. I think that scripture is in there somewhere. But again, this ain't no sermon. What up, Breathe? What up? Alicia Williams says, Pastor Jennings say everybody doesn't become ugly after you get married. I agree. Listen, some people let themselves get away. I'm not saying it's an excuse to go out there and commit adultery or whatever the case may be. But, some people get so content in their marriage, they don't want to work out. They don't want to, keep themselves up to par. Listen, you want to look good for your spouse. You understand that? Listen, you don't want to look like crap. You know what I mean? It happens. People get lazy. They don't want to work out no more. They want to eat up everything. They want to be a cookie monster in the kitchen and things like that. You want to look good for your spouse. You understand? For sure. Nina Sita, what up? Delmore says, maybe instead of saying she's hot, you can just say she's beautiful. Continue your business. Absolutely. Nicholas, listen, you about to hit this out the park right now with this comment. Nicholas says, I believe that you masturbate, he's speaking in general, over another woman in your mind is emotionally in your heart, and you fornicate in your heart. Okay, got you. M. Sim says, keep me in prayer, family. There's a lot of infidelity going on in my marriage. For sure, will do. Craig Harris says, I love my wife too much to cheat. So is that I guess you mean she is the only one. He says she is the only one. Okay. For sure. Falcon, it says, okay, as I stated. All right, Cynthia Hall is laughing. um, hmm. I don't know how to pronounce your name. What is that? XCE. He says, never cheat on your wife. Never even give impression. Put yourself in situations that um you are anything but unavailable. You're absolutely right. I mentioned this on this podcast. Some people put themselves in situations. I spoke about strip clubs. I spoke about pornography and stuff like that. If you're married, what's the purpose of going to a strip club? For what reason? Why you want to go around? A bunch of dirty women out there who's touching on hundreds of men. What I'm saying, per week, and probably going into VIP rooms and things of that nature, and doing whatever, doing the do. You understand? So situations like that, and you may have some single friends who might peer pressure you to talk to such and such. I know. Listen, I know how guys talk. I know how guys talk. I'm speaking about what I know about guys, whether I work with them and they're married and whatnot. And these are married men. Every woman that they see, every good looking woman they see, all the time, never fails. Never fails. Listen, I was young back in my day. I did my thing, you know, but a married person, what I'm saying, as a young man, it's not influential to me as a young man when I see that, you know. It's like these fellas got a woman at home that make them breakfast, lunch, dinner. You got legs and thighs at home, and you concerned about 10, 20, 30 women per day that you see. I don't get it, man. I don't get it, you know. Listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Tony Harvin is not perfect. Like I said, I did my due, especially back in the day when I was young, you know. All right. What up, Dominique Alexandria? I don't know how to pronounce your name. What is that? Kumuso? You said we're allowed to marry one person until death. If your preference is to have a woman with a fine body, with a fine body, will you be sending and searching for what you're looking for? I mean, we always talk about this, we're human. We like what we like. Some people prefer a person who's obese. Some prefer skinny. Some prefer with big eyes, hazel eyes, nice hair, nappy hair, big ears, small ears, light skin, dark skin. There's nothing wrong with that. You human. You like what you like. You know what I'm saying? And just because a woman or person got a fine body now, that don't mean they're gonna have it later on down the road. You understand? So you just can't go after something like that. That could be a plus, but if you're just going after a fine body, there's no value in that because she or he might lose that later on down the road, man. You know, they might lose that because a lot of people let themselves get away. They could have a nice shape, whatever, a physicality shape, working out, eating right, and then later on down the road they get lazy. Now they got a keg belly, you know. Now they got double chins and whatnot. They lost their six pack. They lost all that you went after in the beginning. Now what? Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do now? Remember, you're married now. What you gonna do? Leave them alone because they let themselves get away? You understand? All right. What up? What up? What up? At Chris, I'm good. I'm just chilling on this Sunday night on this live conversations, number 180. Alicia Williams says cheating is not only physical. Touching looks at a woman to lust for her has already. Y'all reading the scripture. I think we talked about that earlier, and that's true. Mentally emotions, you can commit adultery also. You understand? Because what married person would consider themselves not cheating if they sit here thinking about another person sexually and wanting to be with them. You know what I mean? All right. A Falconer says love is never from the body. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? From the body. It can be a plus because now you have lusted after your wife. Correct? No, no. Listen, there's a difference. If you see, if well, I'm speaking from a man's perspective. If I see a woman, you know what I mean, that okay, wow, she has a nice shape, whatever, she's beautiful, and I'm not thinking about lusting after her. I'm just thinking about going up to her, talk to her, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Woo woo woo, kick the rap and all that. Make sure my cap is good. Make sure my breath is smelling good, and all that. Making sure I'm right, you know. But I still might get rejected, you know, at the end of the day. But there's nothing wrong with that, man. The problem is the lusting part. That's the problem, you know. I believe Gino. I think it was the Holy Ghost video when he talked about how he met his wife when he was young. He was coming from service when he was about 14 or 15 or something like that. And he seen, her jumping rope. And he liked what he saw, but he did not lust. He did not lust. So he spoke about how he met his wife. I think she was jumping rope. He came from service and things like that. And, he took it from there. And from there, he knew that was his wife and things of that nature. And they got married. And, here Gino is today. You know what I mean? So the man's supposed to go after the woman, of course. So if the man sees the woman, she's beautiful, fine body, that's a plus. That's a plus. Now, if she's not like that, some men don't go after looks. Some people don't go after just looks. They don't just go after that at the end of the day. K.A. Men says woman bodies change after 25 and or after kids. I'm gonna have to disagree with that because I have a sister, who's still the same after 2 kids, and she's 40. Majority of women, yes, you know what I mean, but not all. But a person may want to listen, stay right, stay in that gym, stay eating right, trust me, do the do, keep fit. All right, prayer, praise, and purpose. I finally get to see you. Thank you for those videos you shared on Gino. It has changed my life completely. My eyes are open to the truth, which was hidden from me for years. Wonderful. Thank you for tuning in. Do remember to visit thetruthofgod.com for, any updates and things like that. Live webcasts, and go to their YouTube channel, First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ, here on YouTube to watch live broadcasts when they have, especially on Sundays around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for tuning in. K.A. Men said you can meet a tall, skinny girl and years later could be curvy. I agree. I agree with that. You're absolutely right. I've seen, not that I was interested in them, I've seen women from high school who were skinny as a stick, and they grew up to be, curvy and whatnot. Kudos to them, And I've seen, females in high school who had everything on a cheerleading squad, they just had it. But now they don't got it. They overweight, they let themselves get away, and things like that. I'm not kicking dirt on them, but majority of them are like that from high school. And I went to Lincoln High School in Jersey City. And I graduated in 2002. I hope they watching. Give them motivation to get their behinds in the gym, work out, eat right. You understand? K. Amen says men are visual. Women need to understand that. However, men they also need to understand that women bodies change and shouldn't base everything on physical appearance. You're right. You're absolutely right. I agree. I agree with that. I definitely agree. But if a man sees his wife getting away, send encouragement. Listen, honey, dip. You know, let's go to the gym. Let's eat right. Let's speak to a doctor or nutritionist and whatnot, and let's just stay right. But some men like that stuff, man. I mean, that's their preference. At the end of the day, you know. Um, in fact, Tony Gino said that a few times. Craig Harris. Falconer says, my question was about lusting after your wife, as we can obviously sin against a woman sexually, even if she's is okay. I understand. Okay, my fault, Falconer. Listen, that's your wife. Whatever business you got with your wife, that's on you. That's between y'all, man. That's none of nobody else's business. At the end of the day, you know, if your wife got on something that you like, whatever, that's your wife. You know what I'm saying? That's your boo boo stink. That's yours. How can somebody come in and say, man, you lusting after your wife? That's a sin. Man, mind your business. This is mine. You understand? I'm just giving an example. You know, that's yours. Cynthia Hall says, praying for all, including myself, be strengthened in the Lord. Pray. Knowledge shall increase says, what date is the convention in North Carolina? The information is on truthofgod.com. They got more information in reference to the times and stuff like that, in the days and what have you. Truthofgod.com, truthofgod.com. Check it out. Tasha says, if they never had curves before and they have it now, it's called the BBL. I don't know what BBL is. I don't know what that is. Um, hmm. Simple Face says, God stated how he would handle you based on how you deal with your wife and your children. Falconer says, I think you always need to be respectful, though. Um, this whole on your knees and what is that? Strangling, no matter even married, that is sin. I don't understand. I don't understand, Falconer, what you're trying to say. Nina Sita says Brazilian butt lift. So are y'all saying that though? Well, I could agree with that halfway. But there are some women out there who gain natural weight, you know what I mean, versus going to DR and whatnot and getting those things done on them, you know. See, what is that? CG says I've been trying to get one question answered for 8 months, and I get two answers. What are you trying to say at what is that? Shawnese CG? What are you talking about? Craig Harris says, as long as you don't lay with your wife thinking about another woman, you are considered a lustful man. I agree. You know, I definitely agree with that. Listen, that's your wife. You know what I mean? Whatever y'all do in the bedroom, that's y'all business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Nobody should be concerned about two people who are married, male and female, what they do in a bedroom or what they thinking about with their own spouse and stuff like that. It's none of nobody else's business. You know what I mean? It's none of nobody else's business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I always state that another reason why people, relationships or marriages is a bummer at times because they allow people in their business. They tell their business to people. You know, all right. Think about it. You only supposed to touch one woman. What? Listen, Falconer. I really don't understand what you're saying. You know how you're writing it. It's kind of hard. He says, think about it. Okay, now I see. My fault. Think about it. You only You're only supposed to touch one woman, as Simple Faith said. You will be judged. That's what we're basically saying. That just your spouse. So, what up, Jen? I don't think it's a sin to look at a woman or a man. It depends on what you think while looking. Praise, prayer, praise, and purpose. I think we mentioned that. We mentioned that earlier in the live conversation. Fleming says some women bodies change after having children. For the most part, I agree. You know, so we here talking about cheating and committing adultery and things like that and what have you. I'm trying to think of some questions I can ask the people in the chat room. You know, those in the chat room, when you experience being cheated on or adultery being committed on you, what went through your head? You know, how did it affect you? You understand? If you care to share your stories, as some people do on here. All right. Falconin, you says I'm saying like if you go cross arm doggies, what? Come on, man. Listen, man. You talking some other stuff, man. You talking some other stuff, man. What are you talking about spanking your wife, man? Listen. What you, you going somewhere else, man. I can't say that. I can't say those words on here, man. Whatever a man want to do with his wife, whether it's that style or whether he want to spank with his hand, that's his business. You know what I'm saying? That's his business. You know, I ain't gonna get too explicit on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because if another, hypothetically speaking, if I was married, and if another man is telling me that something is a sin, and I'm doing some things with my wife in the bedroom, man, me and him probably gonna have to go in the backyard and get it in. It's like, what are you minding our business for? You know what I mean? I'm not saying you, Falconin, but maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're trying to say. that was pretty funny, man. You said it's cross arm doggy style. What is that? Listen, I don't know nothing about cross arm or nothing like that, man. You understand? I don't know nothing about that, man. All right. See, CG says, I'm married to an abusive alcoholic. I've separated myself to avoid trauma, but would it be sin to divorce and move on, or am I supposed to wait till one of us dies? I mean, I don't know how you're going to wait if you die, You mean you wait to see if he died? You know what I'm saying? Type in Pastor Geno Jennings, remarriage and divorce. He'll break it down to you in a more clear form in reference to the Bible. Next person says, I find the idea that you can sin what actually it doesn't in sin quite unreasonable. It's like Abraham was happy when he was told to sacrifice his son, but he did it because God instructed him to. Okay. Ugh, excuse me. Junior Stan. Junior Stan says, he says, hey first, hey to you too. He says, I saw you with a TOG mug, just wondering where I can get one too. Well, the TOG mug was given out during the convocation in July, when I was conducting interviews with the Saints. I think the Saints got a mug too, and I got one too. So I don't know where you can get one besides that, So maybe they'll have more interviews coming up, and maybe they'll be giving them out too. Or you could check with the TOG website, truthofgod.com, Falconin says, I'm trying to be real, but sorry. Listen, man. Listen, bruh. I don't know nothing about no cross-arm doggy style, man. I don't know about that. That must be something new in 2002, man. I don't know nothing about that, and I don't want to. Craig Harris says, it's messed up, but I stayed solid, and my creator brought me a wife. Okay. All right. What up, Jimmy? What up? Yeah. Jen says never been cheated on, but I've been okay, all right. Hey Jen. Hey Jen, y'all cutting up. Y'all cutting up. I ain't gonna read that one neither. Leon says it affected me daily. I guess he's talking about being cheated on. Leon says it affected me in my daily life. You feel as if your heart was ripped out of your chest. Latanya says, no, my husband never cheated on me. How about this? Here's another question out there. There's another question to the audience. You know, now in situations where as though people thinking about getting married or being married and whatnot, you may have a person who accuse you of things. You know, what have anybody have ever experienced somebody always accusing them of something? You know what I mean? That is not true at all. You know what I mean? Those who may think you're committing adultery due to their residue that they got from something dealing with their past situations, because a lot of people have past situations that residue is still on them, you know, that they just can't kick off and away from them. So what do you guys say about that? All right. He heard my cry. Says I went to jail and my ex-husband went to the hospital when I found out he was cheating. Really? Really? He heard my cry? Really? You found out your husband was cheating and you went to jail. Now let me ask you, what did that solve? What was the value in that? Uh, uh, uh. Jared James, I think we had this debate discussion. Go look it up. You know, with brother Hayes and Khalid Mitchell, they had a discussion on oral. Check it out. Kim says, greetings. It's been a while since I was recovering from heart issues and COVID. So God be the glory for my health restored. Wonderful. At Kim. Craig Harris says, of course, when I was in a relationship with my baby's moms. Now, when I was young and whatnot, yes, Tony Harvin cheated and whatnot. You know, I spoke about this on the podcast yesterday or whatever. Listen, I don't hide anything. You know, so I know a lot of people on the internet, they can't talk like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about their past and what they did because they're afraid that people are going to judge them. They're afraid that people are going to use this against them. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I was young, yes, I did it. I did the do. I did the do for sure. You know, I did the do. And I was also a victim of it also. So when I found out that, you know, I was being, you know, whatever on and cheated when I was younger and whatnot, it's crushing. But with me, I know how to get over things in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I may be hurt for a day or two or three, but it's something about me that stuff just go away, man. You know what I'm saying? I know that at the end of the day, it's not worth he heard my cry going to jail over. You understand? It ain't worth that. You know what I mean? It's not worth it at the end of the day. It ain't. You know, I know emotions and, you know, things will get tense and whatnot, but it ain't worth it. I know me. You understand? But if you're in a serious marriage, you know what I'm saying? And let's just say it's happy and everything. And then all of a sudden, the person just, you know, commit adultery on you. Now, that could be crushing right there. That could be real crushing, depression, you know, stress and everything else, man. You know? All right? Shirley Jones says, I don't believe in divorce. It affects the little ones. They blame themselves. Um, K.A. Men says exactly his butt going right in the hospital. Better be careful because you might do something. You might kill a person. It has happened. It has happened. You know, it has happened. You may think you're just going to, you know, bruise him up a little bit. You may hit him. He may trip over something, hit his head on something, and die. Things like that has happened in situations. Whereas though the wife or something like that, they found out that the man was committing adultery and cheating and whatnot, and they may just, push him a little bit. He may trip over something and fall on something sharp and die. Then what? Then what? So be careful when you let your emotions and whatnot get in the way. You think you're just gonna slap him or whatever the case may be. Be careful. Be careful, because you're taking penitentiary chances when you are get angry and you want to lay hands on somebody. And what happens when the man lay hands on you? Then what? Then what? You understand? But certain men ain't gonna want to take that. They ain't gonna take. They gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna take it, whether they did something wrong or not. All right. I know some people emotions and whatnot. It can make them feel like the Incredible Hulk. They can make them feel like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. You understand? Yeah, all right. Jared Smith says, I go through this that daily. All I can say is you can do is speak the truth. You're not responsible for what another person choose to believe of their emotions. He heard my cry, says, I don't need to lie. It was in the heat of the moment. Yes, I know, what I'm saying? I've been through stuff like that in the heat of the moment and what have you and things like that. So I understand, I understand at the end of the day. Chris says the human emotions are extremely dangerous to play with, and cheating is doing exactly that. Fire flame. Okay, you're talking about divorce and whatnot. Quana says that. Hello, everyone. It crushed. Oh my! It crushed me. I didn't know if I was coming or going. One of the most painful things that I'm currently going through. We are separated now, going on 4 years. Wow. Georgina Fleming says, we confess our sins to God. We confess our faults to one another. Excuse me, one towards another. Wow. He heard my cry, says, I was with that man for 12 years. Wow. Jinju says, Tony cheated. No. Listen, I was young, man. I was young. You understand? I was young and things like that. I explained on the podcast yesterday. More so in my late teens, early 20s and stuff like that. You may have certain situations that occurred and things like that, but throughout the years, I matured and things like that. Although people still look at you as how they did, how you was back in the day and whatnot, some people just can't get over that hump that people can change and what have you. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't always in church and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. So what you're seeing now, I wasn't like this before, you know what I mean? Very arrogant, had hateful in my heart, used a bunch of profanity and things like that and what have you. So thanks be to God for change in general, for sure. But certain people still look at me as the same Tony from before. You know what I mean? They're still saying things from the past. I still hear it in these days. I still hear it. I still hear it. You know what I'm saying? Still hear it. And those people, stay away from. Stay away from. You know what I mean? What up, Joshua? Prayer, praise, and purpose says we are not separated because I couldn't stand what is that? The constant bickering. Excuse me, guys. Let me see. Dawn says I was cheated on. It was painful, the disrespect and deception. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. With the deception, for sure. All right. Let's get back to more comments. Del Moore says, so true. What up, Moni? What up? Lady Speed says, blessings, bro. And also is live. He says walk away from cheaters and adulterers. Wow. Prayer, praise, and purpose says, my husband slapped me for the first time and I left him. I would never give him a chance to do it twice. Wow. That's some deep stuff right there. That's some deep stuff right there for sure. KMN says, what if it resulted in a baby and the other woman is also harassing the wife? I see that sometimes in viral social media news. I guess you're talking about WorldStar. I guess you might be talking about those websites like WorldStar and whatnot and things like that. You know, situations like that can happen. You know, it can happen. Wow. So as we was talking about earlier about not putting oneself in a situation like that, you know, because people could be going through things of that nature, you know. All right. Fleming says, please be patient. He'll be back. Absolutely. Had to get me something to drink. You know what I mean? Levy says, what up? Appreciate that. Yvette says, oh, wow. Why you put that question out there like that, Moni, instead of just saying or asking, can we have this topic one day? Let me go back to see what she wrote. So Moni writes, he says, I would like to know why you never talk on elder abuse or abuse that deals with handicap, or how can we improve the community? You seem to shy away from subjects like that. Does one have to pay you? I like that. I'm with stuff like this, man. Y'all should know. I'm with stuff like this. You know? I like stuff like this. Elder abuse. Elder abuse. Let me think. From my experience, I don't get topics like that in my email. I don't experience it. I don't hear about that type of stuff. Elder abuse. You understand? I have a grandmother. You know, who is this? You know, ain't nobody abusing her. I know elder people. Ain't nobody abusing them. You understand? You can't assume somebody is shying away from a topic they don't hear about. You understand? So your problem seems to be assumption. You know, don't sit here like the person said. Why don't you just recommend it, paraphrasing, instead of assuming something? And then you says, or abuse that deals with handicaps. I don't hear about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody emailed me about that. I never experienced it. I don't hear about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear about it. So you can't assume that. You says, how can we improve the community? What community? What community are you referring to? Because when you write community, that's singular. You didn't put communities, which is plural. I don't know nothing about your community. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. Now residing in Charlotte, North Carolina. You understand? So what community are you talking about? You're talking about, I'm shying away from that. You got 2 feet. You got a mind. You got hands that you're writing. You have a mayor in your town. You have councilmen, councilwomen in your town. You understand? If there's a problem in your area that those people could handle and they put in position for, those politicians, go on the website of the city and state you're in and write to them. I can talk about it, but what can I do about it? What can I do about elder abuse in the community that you're in? That's your community. You know what I mean? You have the resources there to write to people and things like that. I could say elder abuse is bad, it's horrible, and things like that. I could say we need to improve the communities by getting rid of the drugs, the gangs, and whatnot. I can go speak to gang members and what have you and all that other stuff. I can do that. I can do that. But then you say, does someone have to pay you? What kind of ignorant comment at the end was that? That was ignorant right there. You know, I'm looking at your comment right now, so if you're writing right now, I can't see it. Does one have to pay you? Ignorant. You come on here, you know what I'm saying? You came on here, you was all right, you was doing well, but now you said something real ignorant, you know what I mean? And Tony Harvin don't get offended from nothing on here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all. You know? I like when people write like that because people could see the ignorance and the stupidity at what people write. You understand? Because that was just a stupid ending to that comment. It was stupid. You know what I'm saying? It was stupid because for you to have said that, you where did you get that from? That had to come from your opinion. You understand? That's your opinion, which is a lie. So now you're assuming and now you're lying. You understand? So that's my response to Moni. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you were sending me all these emails in my inbox on Gmail and whatnot, videos and all this other stuff. I'm packed with emails. And you kept bugging me about, oh, are you going to read them? Listen, I got so much stuff going on. What are you sending me videos for that I can't do nothing about? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. You feel me? You know? So you got to watch what you say to me because you will get ripped. I don't care if we was cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's my response to that. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, I don't care at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I've always been respectful to you and what have you and things like that. I'm not, you come in a sense as if I have to put you number one. You understand? I don't know you like that. I don't care if you was my sister coming on here. Everybody's treated equally at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You come in here, you come on the conversations as if I'm in here, I'm Moni, you're going to have to listen to me, I'm number one. That's how you come. It seemed that way, but it don't work that way. You understand? So now we're going to go back to the topic of cheating and committing adultery. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to continue to talk about. It don't matter what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. If you want to hear about that, go on your own YouTube channel and create your own topics or whatever the case may be, and you talk about what you want to talk about, and you come back here and you let us know if that improved the community and stuff like that. Won't you go do that? You understand? Won't you go do that? Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Case closed. All right. I appreciate that at Yvette for letting me see that because I went past it and I had to scroll back up when you said that at Yvette. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. All right. Back to the comments. Thank you, Tony. I got to get back to my grind. I appreciate you and your platform. Peace and always love at Craig Harris. You know what I'm saying? Jinju says, don't worry. I'm an ex-cheater too, bro. Not proud of it, but hey, what can I say? Some overzealous hypocrites told me I'll be going to hell for cheating, and I told them to have a nice trip on their way. That's funny. You know what I'm saying? All right. Del Morris, that was going to be a good recommendation instead of saying it like that. Absolutely. All you had to do was, I got some topic suggestions, whatever. Can you talk about, elder abuse and things like that and what have you. You ain't had to say all that nonsense, man. You ain't had to say that because now I'm gonna rip you. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm just gonna rip you. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing bad to you. I've been nice. I've been polite to you and everybody else who's cool on here. You know what I'm saying? All right. CW says, "Oh, are you talking about something like that?" Alberto, do you know when they will have more Bibles available? I checked the website, but they're sold out. Well, you got to keep checking the truth of God. You know what I'm saying? Because when the Holy Scriptures come out and they sell out quick. They sell out quick for sure. All right. Let me see. Nicholas says, "Thank you for that response." Chris Simple Faith, he says, "Who you're talking about? Did I miss? What did I miss?" You got to scroll up to the comment. I don't know if they're gonna erase it. You know what I'm saying? The female name is Moni. Says something very disrespectful. You know what I mean? Kate Amen says maybe she likes you and wants your attention. Well, guess what? I don't like her, and I don't want her attention in that manner. You understand? You know what I'm saying? This ain't the flavor of Tony Harvin, and I ain't wearing a big clock. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wearing a big clock with 30 different women in a mansion. You know what I mean? Simple as that. All right. Levy says there's so many Christians that's in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships that's having sexual intercourse and living together. Okay. Wow. Wow. Richard says we look like our parents. It says we look like our parents. What do you mean by that? Okay. I didn't see that other comment, Richard. My fault. He says God made humans in his image, and humans make their kids in their image. And you state we look like our parents. Okay. Falconer says, brother Simple Faith, why are you trying to get woman details? Yo, that's funny, man. What do you mean by that, Falconer? What's going on with you and Simple Faith? We're about to conclude this live, though. What you mean? What's going on? I missed some of the comments, so I really don't know what's going on with Simple Faith and Falconer. What do you? You says, why are you trying to get woman details? What are you talking about? Simple Faith. Oh, I see. Simple Faith asks. He asks her, is she on Telegram? Listen, man. He's doing it respectful. It may seem funny, but let me tell you something. That's respectful. You know what I mean? Whether he's interested in her or not, you know what I mean? He's he's doing it respectful. You know? Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? All right. Jinju says that morning person stays pressed like a. That's funny. Falconer says he didn't ask me for my Facebook though. Simple trying to hook up with a divorced woman. Oh man, y'all cutting up. Your eyes cutting up. Your eyes cutting up. Hey, he heard my cry. You have jokes sometimes. So now people got jokes about you right now. It's funny though. That's funny. Oh man, that's funny. That is funny. Wow. Listen, it's harmless jokes that people are making at Chris. It's harmless jokes, man. It's all right. But we're about to conclude this live. You know, I appreciate everybody for coming on. For sure. We had this discussion on this topic. and things like that. Some people share their experiences upon cheating and being cheated on. That's kind of the angle I wanted to go today, based upon experiences and things like that. So I appreciate everybody for coming on this live. Be on the lookout for more Truth of God videos, more live conversations, more exercising videos. I got to do some news clip videos also. And I'm also thinking about other ideas, maybe another YouTube channel. Still in the making of thinking and things like that, being creative and whatnot. So I hope everybody have a wonderful night. Tonight, have a blessed night, and we should be having maybe another biblical discussion on Wednesday. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're definitely gonna see about that. And shout out to everybody in the room. Have a wonderful night. Peace, peace, peace.